Welcome to the Sunday service at CSLN. We are a welcoming and inclusive community of inspired individuals caring for and about each other and the entire planetary family. The Center for Spiritual Living Nashville offers spiritual tools for anyone seeking a more fulfilled and meaningful life through a deeper connection with a higher power or universal truths. Be sure to subscribe below if you enjoy our programs.
Good morning.
Let's join today's service.
Good morning. I'm Dr. Elaine Benson, and I'm your host, and it's a pleasure to welcome you to Sunday morning at the Center for Spiritual Living Nashville. Also, I would like to welcome our broadcast audience and invite you to join us in person here in Nashville. If you're wondering what CSLN is, we are a welcoming and inclusive community of inspired individuals caring for and about each other and the entire planetary family. We inspire and guide anyone who wants to explore practical spirituality for everyday living. We have a great program for you today, and I know you are going to enjoy it. Thank you.
Good morning. Long ago and far away, before the world had come to this, I took for granted how my life would be, assuming that my freedom would be free. Before these evening shadows fell, I reveled in the light of day. I rarely ever cried, my patience wasn't tried, and heroes never died. But if I had my way, things would be different. Danger wouldn't come from a sky of blue. Choices would be clear, strangers would be kinder, love a little blinder as it saved the day. If I had my way. Every now and then it seems we live our lives to such extremes, racing all around, never homeward bound, losing what we found. But if I had my way, things would be different. No one would believe that a lie was true. Choices would be clear, wisdoms would be heeded, warnings never needed. This is what I'd pray if I had my way. The cup of human kindness would seek us out and find us and color all the words we'd say. And hearts would come alive instead of breaking. No one I had my way.
Good morning, everyone. Hello. Well, welcome to our center. I'm Annie Golightly, Executive Director here at CSLN. I hope everyone has had a wonderful holiday. Please join us in the fellowship hall after service for light refreshments. And it is a quiet week here as we prepare for the new year. Just a friendly reminder that our New Year's Day Vision Board party has been postponed. The new date is to be announced. Please note the men's group is on break until January, but Soul Refresh with Practitioners is still happening on Zoom on Wednesdays at 6:30 p.m. The Zoom link is on our website at cslnashville.org. And CSLN is still hiring. There are 2 opportunities for employment to serve our community. We are needing a bookkeeper as well as a new member of our audio and visual team. These are both compensated positions, so please contact admin@cslnashville.org to apply. Finally, there is an upcoming Writers' Night on Friday, January 7th. Details will be in the newsletter and up on our website as they become available. Need a spiritual mind treatment? Find our practitioners on the website. Choose a practitioner by using the individual contact form and submit a request. Don't forget to give love to help our center thrive by going to lovecsln.com. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel and give us a thumbs up. Thank you.
So good to be here this morning. No complaints and no regrets. I still believe in chasing dreams and placing bets. For I have learned that all you give is all you get. So give it all you've got. I've had my share, I drank my fill, and even though I'm satisfied, I'm hungry still to see what's down another road beyond the hill and do it all again. So here's to life and all the joy it brings. Yes, here's to life and dreamers and their dreams. Funny how the time just flies, how love can turn from warm hellos to sad goodbyes and leave you with your memories you've memorized to keep your winters warm. But there's no yes in yesterday, and who knows what tomorrow brings or takes away. As long as I'm still in the game, I wanna play for laughs, for life, for love. So here's to life and all the joy it brings. Yes, here's to life, to dreamers and their dreams. May all your storms be weathered, and all that's good get better. Here's to life, here's to love, here's to you. May all your storms be weathered, and all that's good get better. Here's to life, here's to love, here's to you. Thank you.
Thank you for that beautiful music. Our reading today is from This Thing Called You by Ernest Holmes, and it comes from page 43. In such degree as your thought has a preponderance of successful feeling, your living will become successful. The law of life can work for you only as it works through your thought patterns. Since it is possible to control your thoughts, it is possible to control your destiny. So say these three things to yourself. I am a free soul. I am completely, positively, and eternally free. I am free from doubt, fear, or unhappiness today and forever. I love those three exclamations there. So I have taken, I am a free soul, and adopted that as my own, that I say several times a day, and it really shifts my consciousness over to a more positive, happy feeling. So just give that a try maybe this week. So if you will center yourself and just allow your eyes to gently close. And just know with me that there is only one spirit, one life, and one intelligence in this world. And today I'm going to call that being God. And I know that I am one with God. I know that God created me to be a free soul, and that I am eternally free, and this will always be so. I declare right now that I am free from doubt, I am free from fear, and I am free from all unhappiness today and for the rest of my life, because I am going to let it be so. I keep my thoughts aligned and in harmony with God. And this alignment creates joy, balance, abundance, and all good in my life today and always. So it is with love and gratitude that I release my word into the law of mind. knowing that this or something better is already done. And so it is. Well, it's my honor today to present our visiting speaker, which you've already met as our visiting singer. So, Reverend Roby Chevance has been a student of religious science since the age of 21, becoming a licensed minister in 2001 and ordained in 2004. Upon licensing, she founded the Celebration Church of Religious Science, which in 2019 became the Celebration Center San Diego, now a virtual teaching center. She has been a lifetime student of metaphysics, quantum mechanics, paranormal phenomena, transpersonal growth, and theater arts. Roby is known for her infectious joy and mastery of manifestation. Her students and colleagues consider her a trailblazer in consciousness in the 21st century. So her title today is Living Your Best Life, No Matter What. So Reverend Roby, please help me welcome her.
Thank you so much. That's beautiful prayer. Yay.
There you go.
Yay. Good morning, good morning, good morning, CSL Nashville. You are an answer to prayer for me. I just want you to know that's how magnificent you are and how potent and powerful you are. And I want to begin by thanking the sweetest, most amazing man, Reverend Lynn Bennett. Thank you, Reverend Lynn. And your wonderful board member, Reverend Gregory Fisher, who allowed me to come today. Reverend Gregory. And a little behind the scenes thank you. We must please give like a huge applause to your sound technician, Angel Ray. So we have to give him a thank you, Ray. Between you and me, it was a little hairy this morning because I brought a computer that was not recognizing your internet. So, but he MacGyvered it. So his new nickname is now MacGyver. Thank you, Reverend Ray. Or not Reverend, sorry, I just promoted you, didn't I? Okay, so let's get to it. We're at the last Sunday of the year. Wasn't 2021 like an amazing year? We've been asked to boldly go where we had never gone before in many ways. And it could be a little challenging, right? There were opportunities for reflecting and recreating and re-examining and choosing again. And so today I want to talk about how can we live our best life ever, no matter what. And that no matter what means no matter what the conditions of our lives are reflecting back to us. No matter what life is asking for us, we, each and every one of us, and I know you all know this already, have the power and the ability to actually cause and create our lives being great, no matter what. So we're just going to probably do a little reflection on religious science today, but I hope I might present some new points of view for you to be inspired by. What does it take to live your best life no matter what? Well, Proverbs 4:7 says, and with all thy getting, get the understanding. So if we truly, truly understand religious science and how it works, the science of mind and how it works, I actually believe radically that if we truly understand how science of mind works, we would not require faith. Faith would be a misnomer because there would take no leap of faith to get from where we are to what it is we were desiring to have occur in our lives. We would just simply know. But I know that, not many of us have walked on water lately or ascended to the realms of that level of mastery. So between where we are and where we would like to be, what will help us live that life, our best life, no matter what. It's to remember that our lives currently, the conditions that we're experiencing, are the sum total of our consciousness. And if we would like to have a different outcome, be in a different reality, we need to simply change our thinking. Now, this is where we're going to get into some meat of it. I want to remind you that life is a hologram. We're going to this is going to be our baseline that we're going to build from today in our understanding together. Life is a hologram. It is your hologram. Life is not happening to you. It is actually happening through you. Show of hands, how many people actually know that? Like you really know it. Life's not happening to you, it's happening through you. Now, that's a radical thought for some of us. But this is what Ernest Holmes had to say about this. He said, evolution is the time and the process through which the spirit unfolds. Insofar as any individual understands this mental law, he or she is able to use it. We must learn how it works and comply with the way it works. Always, it is an obedient servant. The operative word in that sentence, by the way, is always. It is always an obedient servant. As man sows, so shall he reap. Involution and evolution, the thought and the thing, the word and the law, the purpose and the execution. This is the sequence of the way the law works. We've said it a million times every Sunday from every pulpit of every religious science church. As above, so below, as within, so without. For every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction. And we still sometimes think that life is happening to us. And we sometimes think that life is something that we have to overcome. We think we have to be good enough, smart enough, wise enough, intelligent enough. We have to be thinking the right thoughts. We have to have the right feelings. Have you ever done that? I remember, we write affirmations. We say spiritual mind treatments. We think erroneously, by the way, there's a little hint there. Erroneously, we think that we are living in a tit-for-tat reality, meaning that for every negative thought, we have to overcome it with a positive thought. Can you feel how much effort is in that thinking? It can make us exhausted. It could leave us always searching to be not good enough, to always try to be good enough, just so our best life can evolve. Just so we could be deserving or having of our best life ever, if we could just be positive enough, wise enough, attuned enough. If we could just wear our organic cotton clothing enough. Well, how much science has evolved since 1924 until today, when the religious science textbook was first published? A little? A lot? Megatons. Megatons. And Ernest Holmes was very wise. He said that religious science was open at the top. He knew that we would all be evolving in consciousness and we would all be expanding our understanding of how law works. He knew it. And so we now know that life does not move at the speed of light. We now know, science tells us that life actually moves at the speed of consciousness, which is actually faster than light. Can you imagine? And so some of the techniques that we have implored to attempt to make us great enough, good enough, deserving enough of our best life ever are just a tad off center. Stay with me. Because if we begin with the premise that there's something wrong with us that needs to be broken or fixed, repaired, what are we going to end up with? something that needs to be broken, fixed, or repaired. So we're going to go back to the very beginning of truth, and that is we are all, each and every one of us, individualized expressions of that one infinite life. Really. Exactly as you are, right here today, no matter what the conditions of your life is reflecting to you, no matter if you have failed, no matter if you have lost something or someone, just exactly as you are, you have every cell of your body is filled with the infinite intelligence of God itself. And guess what? God knows what it's doing. You know what you're doing. You and God are the majority in your life. But we forget that. We think that our good is forever futurized, some place that we have placed in our future, never to be had in the present. Or we believe that the conditions that are unfolding around us mean something. We use three-dimensional reality as evidence of who we are. So if something happens, we're going to blame ourselves instead of just being the loving observer. And we get afraid, or we complain, we get upset, we get filled with worry, doubt, or fear. We think that things should not be the way that they should. And then we argue with reality. Have you ever tried that? It doesn't work very well, does it? I want to remind you that a complaint is evidence that we have abandoned principle. A complaint is evidence that we have abandoned principle. A complaint is evidence that we forgot who we are and whose we are and how life works. So, to have our best life no matter what, we have to remember who we are and whose we are. Then, our next task, our next spiritual practice is to build our primary relationship with the infinite. Our primary, first and foremost. Scripture says, seek ye first the kingdom of God and its righteousness, and all these things shall be added unto you. The operative word being all. When we seek first the kingdom, when we seek to know that we are in a have your back relationship with the divine, when we know that infinite intelligence always has our back, is always saying yes to us, is always waiting upon our willingness to be in a relationship, it has already said yes to us and is just waiting for us to say yes to it. This is what Ernest says about that. Through the door of our own thought, we enter into the universal consciousness, into a complete realization of life and truth, of love and beauty, and we sit in the silence of our own souls and listen. It will be the greatest thing that we will ever do. In the completeness, we are lost and yet we are found. This is what is meant that a man must lose his life in order to find it. We are lost to the human and found in the divine. So in order for us to have our best life ever, we do not place our life in the conditioned realm, the realm of people, places, and things. We do not use that conditioned realm as proof or evidence of what is possible for us, how we're doing. We are always seeking first that infinite, invisible relationship with the divine. And that is the authority from which we live and breathe and have our being. We forget sometimes in religious science that God, principle, law, the universe, infinite intelligence is a real, living, thriving thing. It's not just some academic principle. It is a very real, intelligent activity that is filled in the ethers. It is in every speck of matter throughout all of the universes. We are all part of that infinite intelligence, and we are all connected in that one mind. It is only ever saying yes. It is impossible for us to ever be separated from it. And no matter what we think about what we have done or have not done, what we should have done or shouldn't have done, it matters not. Because the full impress of the power and the intelligence of that infinite intelligence is right here in this holy and sacred moment. It's right here, right now. Now, when we remember that and realize that, the next step in having the life of our dreams is we have to forget the past. And sometimes we're going to be called to forget everything we know. Can I tell you how often everything we know betrays what it is we would like to have? Can I tell you how often we have judgments and decisions and conclusions that we think are absolutely capital T true because of what we've experienced in our past? We have to get out of the way. We've all heard the saying, let go and let God. We have to be willing to experience something we've never experienced before. We have to be willing to throw ourselves into the infinite and let go of what I call all of our stabilization points, the things that we think give us security and stability. Those things like our jobs, our titles, our financial income, our relationships, our definitions, our personality, all of those things that we use to define where we live. Because when we choose to consciously be in a relationship with the divine, and when we choose to live in possibility, then I can absolutely tell you it is going to be a grand and daring adventure. And you may be called to boldly go where you have never gone before. And to some of the people around you, you may possibly, just maybe, appear to be maybe just a teeny, weeny bit crazy. Out of your mind. Who do you think you are? Who do you think you are that you can have that? Who do you think you are that you can create that? Who do you think you are? Well, I say, who do you think you are to not listen to God? Who do you think you are to not listen to the desires of your heart? Who do you think you are to not feel that propulsion within you, that desire of those things you would like to create and express and do and be and have? Who are you to not honor that and to not listen to that and to doubt that? And to not take God at its word. If you desire to have more than you have, then you must open yourself to access beyond what your limited consciousness knows. Let's think about that for a minute. In my classes, in the early classes, I draw a diagram with a big circle. I put it on a big whiteboard with a dot in the middle. And I say the outer circumference of that circle is all of your consciousness, everything that you know. You're in the middle. And if there's something that you would like to have or do or be that you haven't been able to generate or create or manifest yet, where does it exist? It exists outside the edge of your conscious knowing. It exists in the infinite unseen realm. And so how do we access the infinite unseen realm? Well, Scripture says, ask, and it shall be given. It's pretty easy. It's pretty simple. We don't want it to be that easy. We don't want it to be that simple. We think that it's got to be some big, grandiose experience. We think that we have to toil after it, and we have to work, and we have to learn enough and be enough and know enough and have enough money, and we have to know the right people, and we have to have our 30-second elevator speech, and we have to have the right business cards and the right website, and we have to go to the right networking events. We have to get the right invention, or we got to be in the right place at the right time. Can you see how much effort is in that? Does that feel heavy to you? So heavy. And why is it heavy? It's because we are dealing, when we are thinking that we need to put all these things in place in order to have the life of our dreams, or to get whatever is going to deliver us the life of our dreams. We are living in three-dimensional reality. We are trotting through the materialistic realm, trying to manipulate matter through doing. It's exhausting. Has anybody ever been exhausted before? Trying and trying and trying to do the right thing and be the right person and be in the right... It's exhausting. And you know why it's exhausting? Because you have edged God out. You're thinking that it's up to you to make it all happen. You forgot to include God. You forgot to include principle and law. You forgot that who you are is so precious. Precious. There's never been any one of you ever before in all time and space, and there will never be another you ever again. That's how precious you are. You're a brilliant, illumined child of the one infinite life who has already given you the entire kingdom. It's already been given. And yet you are the only one that's like, well, I got to go get my degree, and then I got to get the job, and then I got to save my money, and then I got to... No. Spirit is saying, yes, my beloved, yes, my amazing one, yes. What would you have? What would you like? What do you desire? Say yes to it. I've already given it. So we have to let go of the past. We have to let go of everything we know. And we also have to remember what Ernest Holmes said, that principle is not bound by precedent. Just because we haven't been able to pull it off yet doesn't mean we can't or won't. Just because we haven't created it or attracted it yet doesn't mean that we haven't or that we can't or we won't. Because principle's not bound by precedent, and our good is not limited or conditioned by any good that has ever been manifest. We should confidently expect a greater good than we have ever experienced or than we have ever known of anyone experiencing. We get to be outrageous, y'all. Outrageous in the things that we expect from life. Can you feel how good that feels? It feels good. Yeah. But we got to let go. Let go of our judgments, decisions, and conclusions of what we think is possible, of what we can do or can't do. We have to let go of trying to please people. We have to let go of trying to fit in. We have to let go. And we have to know that we're not bound by our past. This is, does anybody know of TUTcom? TUTcom, it's wonderful. I urge you to sign up for it. It's on the internet, and it's a wonderful, sweet little reminder of how Spirit works and who you are that you get in your inbox every day. And Tom Dooley is the author, and this is what he said, and I love this. He goes, "Oh yeah, regarding your ancient spiritual contracts that outlined every facet of the life you now lead, well, just wanted to remind you that they're all rewritten every dawn and perpetually updated as each day unfolds, proving yet again that nothing is meant to be, that you are truly unlimited and that anything can happen next if you choose it. Woohoo! The universe." P.S. He always puts a P.S. "In which case, it should matter very little to you that all the originals were accidentally shred this morning, right?" Cheers. I call that a divine do-over. Every day we get a divine do-over. Every day we are faced with a blank slate. Every day is God's gift to us, and what we do with it is our gift back to God. You are free to choose the desires of your heart. You are free to choose the desires of your heart. There's nothing within you that needs to be fixed or repaired or healed in order for you to have it if you authentically choose it, if you are willing to receive it, if you are willing to have it unconditionally. Now, Ernest Holmes calls that swinging out into the all eternal possibility of the all life. We get to swing out into the all possibility of the all life each and every day. Doesn't that sound like fun? Every day is an adventure. Every day is a joy. Doesn't matter what every day contains. It's all, count it all good and count it all joy. Now, how do we direct all of that good to actually really feed our spirits and our souls uniquely, as unique as we are with our unique desires? Well, it's in asking questions and the expectation that Spirit is going to answer beyond anything that we could imagine, which is easier said than done. Because a true question is a question or one of which you have no answer. And our culture, Western civilization, we have been trained and entrained and programmed to have the answers, to figure it out, to get it right, to get the A+. And when you are in relationship with the divine, it seems kind of counterintuitive to not try to come up with the answer. This is what Ernest defined in spiritual mind treatment as not defining. A true question asks, knowing that your answer will be provided from Spirit better than you could ever have written it. And in order to get something you have never had, you must ask a question that you have never asked. What does that mean? Well, I'll share a little story. Some years back, we had closed the Celebration Center. And for me, I can tell you one of the most challenging things for me is to not be a minister. I realized that I cannot not be a minister. Do you get that? It's like, it's in my pores. It's what I am. It's who I do. It's what I love. It's my passion. It's everything that I live for. And so a pastor without a pulpit can be a challenge, right? But I knew I had run myself into the ground. I had pneumonia and was hospitalized for 6 days and was bedridden for 3 months because I had really lived out of balance. I was trying to be all things to all people at all times. Can you relate? Yeah. So I was doing everything I could to heal. And I had this beautiful home. It was a 3,000 square foot executive home on a 3/4 of an acre with a pool, jacuzzi, and outdoor living room. It was a very beautiful home. And I thought, I wonder how my house could make me money. I wonder. That's the question I asked. I asked a question I'd never asked before. I wonder how my house could make me money. I asked that question for 3 days and the phone rang. And it was a real estate agent, and they said, I'm calling because I have somebody who wants to rent your house, and I was wondering if you'd be interested in renting it. I said, I don't want to rent my house. My house is my sanctuary. It's my haven. No thank you, I'm okay. I hung up the phone. The next day, my phone rings. It's a girlfriend. Roby, I'm at this conference, and I met this woman, and she needs to rent a house very quickly in San Diego, and the house that she's describing sounds just like your house, and she'll be willing to pay $4,000 a month, and she'll pay a year in advance, and she wants to help rent the house furnished, but she has to move in 3 weeks. Would you want to do that? And what do you think my first response was? No, I don't want to rent my house. And then I went, oh, wait a minute. I asked a question. I wonder how my house can make me money. And so then I asked my next question. I said, okay, so if I rented out my house, where would I live? And instantly, it was like reverse Niagara Falls. I mean, it just came like this fountain out of me, and I went, oh, I could live in Rome. Oh my gosh, I love Rome. So I went on the internet, and I found a little 1-bedroom apartment next to the Coliseum for $700 a month, and I rented it. And I said, yep. And let me tell you what, I had to clean out all of my personal stuff. I had to be ready to go to Europe in 3 weeks' time for an entire year. I had no itinerary, except that I had this little apartment for 2 weeks. That's all I knew. And I would like to say that I was bold and courageous and happy and excited, but I want to report that in the airport in Denver, I was a mess, sobbing unconsolably. And anybody who knows me knows I don't sob unconsolably. And I thought, oh, Roby, you have out-Robied Roby. Like, what have you done? This is the craziest thing you have ever thought of, to go around the world by yourself with no itinerary. You're ridiculous. So I would like to report that all kinds of magic and miracles unfolded on that trip for my living around the world for a year. And I ended up, traveling all over Italy, Ireland, Australia, New Zealand, Bali. And everywhere I went, I met people of like mind, just like us. I had people open their homes to me. I had a princess allow me to live in her compound in a 4-bedroom house with a marble fireplace, with American bathrooms in Rome, with a pool and a garden, which if you know Rome, that's very difficult to come by. I had people take me to their country homes. I met Aboriginal healers and medicine men and shaman, and had all kinds of amazing magical experiences every single place I went. It was almost too good to believe. But then I remembered there was another question I asked, and I'm going to give you this question, and you're going to want to remember it. And that is, I wonder what it would take for me to wake up every morning feeling as if I had to pinch myself because I could not believe my life was real. I wonder what it would take for me to wake up every morning feeling as if I had to pinch myself because I could not believe my life was real. That is a question to ask God, because guess what? You might find yourself in an airport in Denver sobbing hysterically as you're leaving for a year to travel from parts unknown and have the trip of a lifetime. That's where asking questions gets you. But you have to be willing to choose for you, and you have to be willing to take bold and inspired action. Can I tell you how many people said, you can't do that? You're just going to leave for a year? You don't have any plans? You don't know where you're going? You don't know what you're doing? I was like, oh, I'm going. And it was the trip of a lifetime. So, be willing to take bold and courageous action. Be willing to choose for you. Be willing to follow your awareness. Pay attention to what you're feeling. Does it feel heavy or does it feel light? Trust that you are in a divine relationship with an infinite intelligence that has your back always. And that there is no dream too big that spirit cannot fulfill. It's up to us to put these principles to use. It's up to us to the level and degree that we apply principle into our lives, that we stand on principle with conviction and certainty. It's up to us. So many of us are accustomed to putting a demand on the universe. Okay, universe, I need this to happen. Okay, universe, I figure this out. I know you're going to figure this out. The truth is, the only place we can place a demand is upon ourselves. By being willing to take impeccable personal responsibility for the conditions of our lives and knowing that we can out-create any of them. That we can stand on principle. That we turn away from the three-dimensional realm. That we let go of our judgments, decisions, and conclusions, get out of our thinking mind, and get more into our awareness, into our hearts, knowing that God is with us always. Having the courage to ask for what truly brings us joy, and following the energy and having the courage to choose for you. Are you willing to do that? To choose for you what makes you happy, what brings you joy, what lights you up, what inspires you? Are you willing to trust that your God is bigger and has already said yes to you and already prepared the way? Are you willing to do that? Do you believe that you can, within 3 weeks' time, get on a plane and be traveling around the world for a year? There you go. Don't get into your judgments, decisions, or conclusions as to how that would have to happen. I challenge you to consciously choose to live your best life ever, no matter what, no matter the conditions, no matter who you think you are or who you think you aren't. I challenge you to remember who you are and whose you are. I challenge you to know that this works always. This works always. Namaste. Oops. I love you. Thank you.
I don't know about you, but I feel so inspired. I am precious and I am outrageous. Those two things. I have permission to be outrageous, so I just love that. I just thought your talk was really wonderful, and I really appreciate you. So now is time to give back what serves us. And I would like to ask our ushers to come down front. We can also accept your gift using your card in the bookstore. And if you will take your gift in your hand and repeat after me. Divine love, as me, blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. And so it is. And thank you so much for your gifts. I want to thank all of you for joining us today, both the in-person audience and our YouTube audience. And let's thank our speaker again, Reverend Roby Chevance, for being here with us. And your practitioner, you don't have to applaud me, but it was truly my pleasure to be here with you today. And if you do have something that is heavy on your heart and you would like to have a prayer treatment, I will be out in the hallway after the service today, available for treatment. And please join us in our fellowship hall for coffee and tea. And I would like to thank our AV team and the hospitality team for being here with us today. And if you feel comfortable, I would like to ask our visitors to please stand up. You don't have to do anything, just stand. Okay. Well, thank you so much. Our one brave soul back there, thank you. So if you will join me for our closing treatment, and just again, take a deep inhale. And as you exhale, just allow your eyes to gently close. And just let your attention slide down into your heart, because this is where God is. This is where we come to feel the presence, the love, and the power. And I think sometimes we might forget that, but we're here now, feeling that love. And just know with me that there is only one power, one presence, one creator. And again, today I'm calling that creator and power God. And I give great gratitude for this teaching. For me personally, it has done a lot for my life. It has turned me completely around and changed me into a different person. And for that, I'm eternally grateful. And I know you will always be there to catch me when I start to wander off in the wrong direction and pull me back like you've done before. And I want to thank our guest minister this morning for being that reminder as well, for being an inspiration this morning, reminding us all that we have all of this in us, and we just need to remember it all the time. And so that's kind of hard to do, and I know that we can be a reminder in a loving way for each other. So I know that everyone has been blessed by being here today and by hearing our speaker, being reminded of our principles, our teachings. And I just know that everyone here is going to have a wonderful week where you are able to live in the principles all week long. So I release my word into the law of mind, knowing that this, or something so much better, is already done. And together we say, and so it is. Thank you. Thank you again for being here today, and we will see you next year. And please, if you want something to eat or drink, stop by the fellowship hall on your way out. Thank you.
We'll do one more song. How's that? Just a few minutes. So good to be with you guys this morning. Thank you for the gift of inviting me. Kiss today goodbye, the sweetness and the sorrow. Wish me luck the same to you. And I can't regret what I did for love, what I did for love. Look, my eyes are dry. The gift was ours to borrow. It's as if we always knew. And I won't forget what I did for love, what I did for love. Love is never gone as we travel on. Love's what we'll remember. Kiss today goodbye and point me toward tomorrow. We did what we had to do. Won't forget, can't regret what I did for love. What I did for love. What I did for love. Love is never gone as we travel on. Love's what we'll remember. Kiss today goodbye and point me toward tomorrow. Point me toward tomorrow. We did what we had to do. Won't forget, can't regret what I did for love. What I did for love. What I did for love. Namaste, everybody. Go out and make it a great week.
This program is a service of the Center for Spiritual Living Nashville. May your life be filled with joy and prosperity in every way. Learn more about our programs or contact one of our practitioners at our website, cslnashville.org. You may also want to follow us on Facebook at CSLNASH. You can make a big difference with your financial gift at loveCSLN.com. Please share the link to this program with a friend and join us again next Sunday. Have a wonderful week.